Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Hero Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. He named שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבט אחים גם יחד. Oh, what a world this will be, when all men will live as brothers. Hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. What a fine world this will be, when all men will live as brothers. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide with you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forever, now and forever, now and forevermore. Return return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to what you are, return to who you are, return to where you are born and reborn again. Return to what you are, return to who you are, return to where you are born and reborn again. Oh, return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Shema Yisroel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad.
Good morning, everyone. We're talking about rest today, and perhaps you found a moment of rest just listening to that beautiful music from Joni, even though I knew my phone was lighting up and other things were happening as we begin worship. I found myself just sitting here with my eyes closed, letting the music wash over me. And I want to invite you to do that throughout the service today, to take moments to rest in this space. Put your phone aside. I know that some of us are checking Facebook and other things as well during worship when we're online. Put it aside, turn off background noises, and just take an opportunity to rest in this time, to let God's love wash over you, to enfold you, to embrace you. We're starting a new series today called Nourish. We'll spend 4 weeks talking about how we can nourish our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And some of the things that we are doing right now, being at home more, may seem like they help us to rest, but that is not always the case. Um, so I invite you to lean into this time and to begin to open your own mind to what you need to do in your life to create space for rest. A couple things I want to mention real quick as we move forward in the service. The first is that there's a couple new songs in our service, and I shared this in the newsletter that went out this week. As our time in the pandemic progresses and we are faced with the hardships it brings, um, as well as other struggles within our country, we feel the need to explore some new songs that speak to our hearts in this time. And you've noticed that we've had new songs in worship here and there. But it's a little hard to teach them online, whereas, in person, we would often do them twice, and we might even have a song leader kind of walk you through the melody real quickly. So it's a little different to do it online. There's two new ones today. We did send out one of them in emails this week. So hopefully you took a chance to an opportunity to listen to that. They're both very simple to sing along to. And our goal is to repeat those some more and more so that you can become more comfortable with them, more familiar with them, like you are with our other Crossroads music. So I encourage you to have an open heart to the songs today, um, and to just um, to see what they might speak to you as you come to a level of comfort singing along with them. Also, we have children's time today. Erin is offering our children's time. And um, if you are a kiddo, we encourage you to have your favorite toy with you, or a favorite toy if you have several, during the children's time coming up a little bit later. And then the last thing I want to mention is something that Greg pointed out just the other week, last Sunday, is that we are collecting money, as always, we always are, to the Congregational Care Fund. And that's a fund that allows us to support church members who may be financially struggling, or some people in the community. And last year, when the first stimulus came around, we invited you to, if you didn't need your stimulus, to give it or part of it to the Congregational Care Fund. So then that could be used to help others. And so we want to invite you to do the same this year if you are so moved. And I can tell you from the last 10 months of the pandemic that we have been able to put those funds to use, and we will continue to do so to support others who are struggling in this time. Because as most of us have said, a $600 stimulus payment the other week wouldn't pay anybody's rent or their mortgage. And so some are in need of help right now. And we want to support the community and support our church family. So if you want to donate to that specifically, you can still do so just as you would give an offering. You can mail in a check and just note on the memo line or on a scrap of paper that it's for the Congregational Care Fund. Or if you go online to our website, or if you go through the Give Plus app, you can just designate it for the Congregational Care Fund. So your gifts are a blessing to help others in our church family and our community. So thank you for continuing to give and to love. And now let's continue in this time of worship together.
Silence,
heartbeat,
darkness, swirling chaos,
spirit brooding,
word,
light exploding, splintering, fracturing,
forging, spawning,
chaos,
unscrambling, untangling, weaving,
water and sky,
horizon blue line,
aqua, azure,
sky blue, deep sea green,
earth,
ocean,
land,
sea,
granite,
surf,
gemstone,
rain,
diamond,
wave,
sun, moon, dawn,
tide waxing, waning,
summer, harvest,
sunrise, sunset,
microbes, bacteria,
algae, single cell,
blue whale, pilot fish,
T-Rex, mammoth,
fur, wool,
scales, feathers,
holy,
midwife,
dust, breath, skin, bone,
divine human purpose, love,
let us,
make
them,
in our
own,
image,
poetry, art, music,
science, learning, philosophy,
wisdom, love, faith, hope,
own,
image,
good,
good,
very good,
rest,
amen.
May you find sanctuary among trees and stones, and feel earth preparing a place for you to sit and breathe and be. Let the long limbs of branches form a canopy above your head. Let the hills open up a place for you to soar. May the stones form an altar, and see how the sun makes everything shimmer and glisten, so that everything shines forth from within. Let the tender vine climbing the trunk show you what it is to reach to the sky. Let all the living creatures that gather, winged and four-footed ones, offer a new companionship. All around you, see yourself as part of this glorious cathedral. The lake and holy wells are the fonts of baptism. The river rushes carrying gifts down from the mountains. The oaks and sycamore create a sacred circle, the face of the Creator incarnate and immanent, illuminated with each gaze. Feel the veil between heaven and earth slip away until you know the sanctuary of soil and sunlight. Listen to the sky whisper her secrets on the wind, lifted by wings and song.
Come, find a time of peace.
We don't think we have time. There are many demands on us.
Come, find a time of rest.
There is so much that we have to do, places to go, people to see, needs to be met.
Come, find a time of healing.
Our lives are fractured and bleeding. We give of ourselves, and yet there is still much to be done.
Come, find a time of hope.
We can't accomplish everything. Look around you. See how the cries of the world scream in our ears, how the hands of need reach out, pleading for our help.
You cannot serve if you do not rest. You need a time of quiet to regather your strength and spirits.
Lord, help us to slow down, even if it is for just a little while.
Come, find this place of peace. Let the Spirit of God gently refresh and heal you.
We come and will find our rest in God's steadfast love. Amen.
lie down in peace. I will take my rest only in you, only in you, only in you will I lie down unafraid. In you, only in you, only in you, only in you will I lie down unafraid. I will lie down in peace. I will take my rest only in you, only in you, only in you will I lie down unafraid. In you, only in you, only in you, only in you will I lie down unafraid. I will lie down in peace. I will take my rest only in you, only in you, only in you will I lie down unafraid. In you, only in you, only in you, only in you will I lie down unafraid.
Psalm 55, verses 4 to 8. My heart is tortured inside me. Terrors of death assail me. Fear and trembling invade me. Horror overwhelms me. So I said, if only I had wings of a dove, then I'd fly away and find rest. Yes, I'd fly far away and find rest in the desert. I'd hurry to my place of refuge, far from this raging wind and storm.
Come to me, and I will give you rest. All who are weary, all who are burdened down, come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy, my burden feels so light. Come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy, my burden feels so light. Come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest. All who are weary, all who are burdened down, come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest. All who are weary, all who are burdened down, come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest. Come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest. Come to me, come to me, come to me, and I will give you rest.
All right, everyone, it is time for kids' time. So I've got Aaron on here. I'm going to let him take over. He is unmuted.
Good morning. Hey everyone, how are you doing? I see I have Finn, Eleanor, and Asher. I have Evie, Elise, Hias, and Adelaide. That's a great name. Just so many great kids. I see Shiloh's here. It's also awesome. So I love playing with my kids. I love playing with toys with my kids, and my kids love toys. Do you love toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my son has these new toys. They're little excavator and a front loader, and he likes to let them drive, and they make a lot of noise, and they shake. And he does this all day long, and it's so loud and so much fun. My daughter got a Baby Alive doll, and a Baby Alive doll mimics being a baby. If you feed her liquid, like you actually have a little bottle you put water in, and you feed it to her, she'll pee-pee. And you get to change your diaper. I don't know why my daughter likes this, but to her, holding a baby and playing with a baby is so much fun. She really enjoys that stuff. So what kind of toys do you guys have? Let me see your toys. Finn, Eleanor, and Asher, what you got for me to see?
Eleanor, you have her kitty stuffed
Ooh.
animal.
Yeah.
Asher, you have Ricky Zoom.
Ooh, fun.
You put the button. Yeah, and I have this Lego car.
Ooh, did you build it yourself?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Shiloh, what you got?
I have an action figure.
Is that Darth Vader?
Yes, it is. I have an entire tub of action figures.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Wilson Clan, what you got? Oh, unicorn.
What the? I have a stuffed animal I've had since I was a little baby.
Whoa, awesome. Oh, is that a Cinderella doll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a grabber. My son is one of those. He loves those. So guys, how much do you like to have time to play with your toys? Yeah, is playing with your toys a lot of fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My kids love it too. Now, I have another question for you. Very serious question. How many of you like nap time? No, no. Cody does. Yes, yes. Most parents love nap time. How many like going to bed at night when it's bedtime? Shout a little bit. Some, oh, okay. The older kids are like, I'm used to being tired now. I get it. Younger kids like, no, I can stay up all night long. Did you know rest is? Oh, you have? Oh, fun. Did you know that rest is one of the most important things you can do for your body? As much as playing is, rest is that important too. And so getting good sleep is important. That's why nap times are so key. My son, he's 2. He has to have a nap. If he doesn't have a nap, he is cranky and mad because he's saying, I just want to keep playing, but I'm just so cranky. And that's because he needs sleep. But sometimes, guys, we don't need to actually take a nap. We don't need to go to bed. Maybe during the day, you just need a time to pause and reflect and calm down. Have you ever had a moment like that? We had a chance where you just kind of had a moment where you just calmed down. Let's all just calm down. As a parent, I know I struggle with that. Oh, my kids are going, okay, kids, it's chaotic right now. It's a lot of loud noise that's happening. Let's just calm down. But that could be just as good for your body to have a moment of rest like that. It doesn't have to be sleep. And I want to do a little practice with you guys. So I'm going to put a little thing on the chat. So parents on the chat, we're going to have a little thing here if I can get it to work. Max are confusing to me. There we go. We're going to do a breathe exercise, guys. What this means is we're going to breathe and say some words, and then we're going to breathe out and say other words, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do it first. Everybody look at this. So we breathe in, when I am afraid. So we go, when I am afraid, I will trust in you. Do you understand? When I'm afraid, I will trust in you. It's a way of getting our breath in our process of talking. So we're gonna do a little breathe prayer here, okay, guys? You ready to do it with me? Do you see it? Okay, let's do it together. When I'm afraid, I will trust in you. One more time. When I'm afraid, I will trust in you. See, sometimes, guys, just as important as naps and bedtime is, it's important to have a little pause of your moment and just calm down and breathe a little bit. Find ways to do that in your day. It might make your day a lot easier and faster. Maybe if your siblings and you aren't getting along, might be a good way to calm things down. And maybe for you might be a good way to just reflect and focus in again. Well, guys, you have been awesome. I love seeing all the faces. I enjoyed this. I hope you have too much fun with the toys. Please don't play with the toys while Stephanie's preaching. But if you want to, and it keeps you focused, I understand that too. But have a great time, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
I invite everybody to take a moment just to center yourself and find a place of rest as we go to our offering. Lord, you have been so good to us. You have provided for us and protected us in ways that we cannot fathom. So I ask you, what can I give back to you? What can I do for you for all that you have done for me? Search my heart, Lord. Help me to find what you need, what I can do, and give me the courage to do it. In all things, I ask in your name. Amen.
Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, 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 listen.
Let's just take a moment to breathe. Just take a couple deep breaths. Just let it out. So, as you can imagine, in a house with 3 children, 2 at the age of 4, naps have kind of gone away. And even rest time is rare. You might get 1, maybe 2 willing to rest, but rarely all 3. And of course, Mama still needs a nap or some rest, but it's a great rarity around here. So it came as a surprise to me on Wednesday when I woke up from a nap, a long, glorious nap. We had been watching the inauguration with our COVID bubble, and I brought the kids home and they were with their dad for a bit. And so I laid down and this great exhaustion came over me. And I woke up 3 hours later. I can't remember the last time I took a 3-hour nap. And as I was reflecting that night about why I had suddenly become so exhausted, because my day hadn't amounted to much, I realized that the stress of these last 4 years, reaching its max in this last year of the pandemic, had put my whole body and mind and spirit in a place of tension. And after Wednesday, it felt as though a bit of that stress, a bit of that weight had been lifted, maybe just a little. And finally, I could rest and let my mind fully grow quiet. And I woke up feeling more nourished than I have in some time. And that's what we're going to be talking about for these 4 Sundays. Nourishment. Nourishment for our spirits, our minds, for our bodies. Now, we could all take a little survey, and some of you likely will prove to be good at nourishing and at self-care, but a great deal of us, I suspect, would fall short. And perhaps in this time, fall even more short. Even in a pandemic, we find ways to fill our time and our lives, if not with actual activities, with worries and concerns that can consume us. We want to feel useful, but our souls grow weary, our bodies are exhausted. Some of us stretch ourselves beyond our capacity. And even in these winter months, as some of us are cloistered in our homes, not just because of the pandemic, but because of the cold, when it's actually here, maybe this week, while we might think that we are resting, it may not be nourishing. What does it mean to nourish? To nurture, to rear, to promote the growth of, to furnish or sustain, to supply with what is necessary for life, health, and growth, to cherish, foster, and keep alive, to strengthen and build up. The root of the word, the Latin root, comes from the 1200s, meaning to feed or to care for. So what is it that we need to feed our spirits? What is it that we need to care for our minds? What is it that we need to strengthen our bodies? While there are many ways to go about nourishing ourselves, for this series, we'll speak to 4: to rest, release, food, and friendship. Because it's not just about taking a break from the busyness of life, but about the things we fuel and replenish ourselves with, the things that sustain us in our everyday. Now, it seems easy to start with rest. At one point, I joked that I was just going to play some quiet music and instruct you all to lie down and relax. And I mean, we could still do that if some of you need that. We can have a breakout room just to direct you in a time of rest. It seems easy because we all know that the commandment from God is to observe the Sabbath. We remember that in our faith story of creation, God rests on the 7th day. We recognize the importance of rest, of refraining from labor, of letting ourselves recuperate and re-energize. But saying it and practicing it are 2 different things. I, for example, will often say I'm resting when the kids and I pop in a movie to watch. I'm relaxing. However, I'm still hopping up every 3 minutes to grab them a snack or a drink. I'm usually answering a text or an email on my phone. I might be crocheting something for somebody as I sit there, or I'm looking across the room, staring at the laundry basket that needs to be folded, or I'm processing my sermon in my head. So am I really resting? I used to trick myself into thinking that I was, but lately my mind and my body and my spirit seem to be yelling back at me, no, you are not. I love the psalm that we heard today. My heart is tortured inside me. Terror of death assail me. Terrors of death assail me. Fear and trembling invade me. Horror overwhelms me. Now, that may seem a little extreme to some of us, but can you connect with that, with the psalmist's words in this time, as more and more people pass away from an uncontrolled virus? So I said, if only I had the wings of a dove, then I'd fly away and find rest. Yes, I'd fly far away and find rest in the desert. I'd hurry to my place of refuge far from this raging wind and storm. Oh, what I wouldn't give to zip off to a beach right now and lay on the sand with a good book and a margarita in hand and the sun beating down upon me. How many of us have wished to get away this last year, to just rest? And I commend the few of you who have managed to make that work. But the pandemic has definitely cramped our vacationing. Escape is often the only way we think we can fully relax and nourish ourselves, to remove ourselves from the things that consume our lives. But we need alternatives. And truthfully, we need things that nourish us monthly, weekly, daily. Back in the 1920s, Coca-Cola came out with a phrase that has seen many variations over the decades. Coca-Cola, the pause that refreshes. Immersed in the Depression, with folks financially struggling and unable to purchase the frivolous things of life like soda, they came up with this slogan, the pause that refreshes. It positioned Coke as a way to escape the busy world for a few minutes. Well, as good as a fresh Coca-Cola may be to some of us, it's not the thing that actually nourishes us. And doctors even confirm that. We need to find a different pause to refresh us. Finn was watching a Disney show the other day, and I often read a book during that time when it's just us at night, but I found myself kind of drawn to the silly show. And the episode was about five teenage friends who were all having a fit because they were going without their phones for 3 days. One of them kept showing up not appropriately dressed for the weather because she didn't have her weather app. So she was always cold or soaking wet or whatnot. Another couldn't stand to miss out on the latest gossip. One was worried that the girl he liked was mad that he hadn't texted her back. But there was one that found the absence of technology refreshing as he read books and he learned new skills like bird calls. And I found myself quietly laughing along because while I wanted to think this a teenager problem, I know it is an adult problem as well. We too are not very good at unplugging from technology. And if you think, well, I don't keep my phone on me all the time, what about the news? I go visit my mom and the news is on around the clock. Or what about the latest updates, especially in a pandemic when those routes are our connection, not just to the greater world, but sometimes the person down the street or our pew buddy from church. Right now, technology and TV and such are the one way that we stay connected. We're not very good at unplugging from life. We weren't before, and I fear we've gotten worse at it. We're not good at resting. Doctors have even expressed great concern that during this pandemic, stress and anxiety levels have increased, and people are finding it harder and harder to relax and rest, to let their minds, bodies, and spirits renew themselves, to sleep at night. Good rest renews our energy. It relieves stress and anxiety. It improves our cognitive functions. It improves our health. It also centers us in God. It pulls us back to connect with our Maker. Maybe God had a good point about resting on the seventh day. We have families, friends, a church, a community, a world in need of each of us, but we're not much good to others if we're not caring for ourselves. So, what do you need to do to incorporate good rest into your daily life? What do you need to do to rest your hands or your feet, to rest your mind, to rest your breathing? Could it be setting aside 30 to 60 minutes a day to be unplugged from the world? To turn off your phone, your tablet, your computer, your TV, to sit down with a cup of tea or by a window where the sun can shine on you. Maybe it's setting that time for your whole family. Or maybe it's having a set bedtime and wake time. That doesn't seem real impressive, but in a time of a pandemic where some of us spend 24 hours a day in our homes, those times begin to overlap. And so for me, that's one thing I've been working on for several weeks now. Reinstating a routine of when I go to sleep and when I wake to improve my sleep cycle so that my rest is good and I'm re-energized for the day. If you're working from home like me, maybe you need to set hours for work and set hours for non-work time. so that the two don't blend over with one another. This one is particularly hard, I think. And I suspect that you have some other ideas as well. And so feel free to throw those in the chat section, maybe something you want to try or something you have tried that's worked that might be helpful to others. You can share those there. Rest, good rest, nourishes our spirits. It nourishes our minds and it nourishes our bodies. But one of the things that we have come to learn is that we need this regularly in our lives, not just when we're ready to crash and burn. So experiment with me. Just for the month of this sermon series, what will you do daily to incorporate a bit more rest in your life? If you think you can't do much, take 5 minutes a day. That's nothing, right? 5 minutes a day to lay flat on your bed, to empty your mind, and to just breathe slowly. Seems like nothing, but I guarantee it will bring you some rest. So, what can you do for 30 days? I've decided that I'm going to take my phone and my Apple Watch and everything off for 30 to 60 or for 60 minutes a day. 60 minutes a day. That's going to be a real challenge for me. And I bet some of you are going to text me during those 60 minutes and you're going to wonder, why is she not texting you back? Because I'm so quick about that. And maybe you'll think, maybe it's the hour when she takes off, where she unplugs from the world. But I'm going to take off my Apple Watch. I'm going to turn off my phone or the volume, whatever. I'm going to close my laptop and my iPad. Good Lord, I have a lot of technology in my life, right? And I'm just going to put it all away for an hour and unplug. It's going to be hard for me. But I suspect that it is something I need. And I can do it. I can do it for 30 days, right? So can you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I often, when we sing that song, I think of, my heart song, and I think of things that I care passionately about, like justice and such, and inclusion and love. But as we were preparing for this service and I was thinking about that song, I wondered, what is my heart really singing for in my own life? What is my heart calling for these days in the way of nourishment? What is your heart calling for in the ways of nourishment? What does your spirit sing out for? What can you do for 30 days to have a little more rest in your life? Feel free to share that with others if you want in the chat and even help keep each other accountable. Let's just take a moment, like we did at the beginning, to breathe, to rest. When I had trouble sleeping several months ago, someone talked to me about 4x4 breathing. 4 counts in as you breathe in, hold it for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, hold that for 4 counts. So in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. And it was amazing to me how when I started doing that every night, I began to fall asleep. I would lay in bed for hours, trying to solve all the problems of my life and the world. But once I started breathing like that, I drifted to sleep. So let's just breathe. I'll guide you in it. Close your eyes, be comfortable. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. You can breathe normally. You might find that that practice slows your breathing and slows your heart rate, gives you a little bit of rest in itself. We're going to close in a moment with our final song. I hope that you'll join us again next week as we explore release. The first Sunday in February 7th, as we explore nourishment through food. One of our new members, Reverend Abby Pratt, will be preaching that day. So I know you will enjoy hearing from her. And then I'll close out the series and it will be Lent. Let me remind you to sign up online for Lent devotionals. We've got booklets and daily cards, and you can get both if you want. Just give us an idea of how many we need. Just lets us print enough, but also not overdo it. So we would appreciate that. So hear this as your benediction, and then we will sing one last song. Pitchers, baseball pitchers, rotate games to not wear out their arms. Farmers for centuries would rotate their fields, letting one field fallow each year so that the soil could replenish its nutrients. Smart churches rotate their volunteers so they don't wear anyone out. Educators agree young students need 2 recesses a day to rejuvenate and be more productive. But as adults, as spouses, as parents, as workers, we run all day long. But we are made of the same stuff of earth. We too need time to rest, to fallow, to rejuvenate. So help us, oh God, to make rest a priority in our lives. Help us to see that nourishing ourselves, caring for ourselves, is not something that shows weakness, but something that is necessary to build up our strength. Be good to yourselves this week. Nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. Amen.
There's a song in my soul, and I feel it stirring in me. This I know for sure, that your love is like a flood, and your mercy never ending. I give my song to you.
There's a joy in my soul, and it rises like the morning. This I know for sure, that your grace is enough, and your promise never breaking. I give my song to you. All of your goodness is like a well running
There's a hope in my heart, burning bright in the darkness. This I know for sure, that I will look upon your face, forever dwell in your presence, and always sing to you. All of your goodness is like a well running over. Oh, my soul, it sings for you. For all of your goodness, I will love you forever. All my songs I sing for you. Yes, all my songs I sing for you. Let my life be to you a symphony, singing out holy, holy. All my days, every single breath I breathe, singing out holy, holy. Let my life be to you a symphony, singing out holy, holy. All my days, every single breath I breathe, singing out holy.